Hey guys, thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel, Jake Orman Fishing. Uh, Wanted to document my rookie season coming on the FLW Pro Circuit, coming off our first event at Sam Rayburn. Today I want to talk about how fish management I think helped me to achieve the 12th place finish there at Sam Rayburn. I had a school of fish for that basically I used all 3 days of competition to end up moving from 62nd after the first day to the 20th, all the way up to 12th place in the tournament. Uh, those When you find schools of fish at Rayburn, there's usually always some big ones down there with them. You just don't know how many you have to catch of the little ones that you have to catch to get to the big ones. Uh, Day one, I struggled on day one, but that was part of my game plan. I knew that school of fish, there was enough fish there for a limit every day. If I made it all 4 days, there was a limit there. I didn't want to catch too many, so I had a number in my head before I started that morning that I didn't want to catch more than about 8 fish out of that school. Day one, I caught a limit probably in the first 15 minutes. Caught 3 more. Only 2 of them helped me, and they barely helped me. I mean, I only had 10, 13. They all looked like they were twins. So I made a decision to leave on day one. I still had 6 hours of fishing left. I knew hopefully with leaving that early, maybe I could run into another school, find another spot. I basically kind of bounced around. I threw a rattle trap out in some of the drains, and then flipped a bunch of bushes with a jig. Didn't seem to, I just never found anything. That rattle trap bite just seemed to go away after that cold front and rain that we had. So day two, I decided that, which after day two, or day one, I was sitting in 62nd place. Day two, I knew I was going to go straight back to that same first starting spot. Knew I could catch a limit off of it. Hopefully they would be bigger this time, which they were on day two. The first 5 fish on day two probably weighed 16 pounds. Day two, luckily that they did weigh 16 pounds. I knew I was going to weigh, I moved way up into that I was going to get a good check. Top 50 pays really well. That was the plan, is try to get at least into that $10,000 check range, and if I could, get into the top 30 cut. I knew after catching the first 5 fish that I caught that morning that I was going to be in check range, so I decided that, and I possibly had a chance for the top 30. So I decided I'd leave them again. Basically, I think I caught 8 fish out of that school. I knew leaving them that, hopefully the goal was to try to find another school, still try to find something else. I didn't find any more deep fish or anything out, brush piles or anything. But in the last few minutes of that day two, probably in the last 15 or 20 minutes, the sun popped out really good, and I think those fish moved up because I caught 3 fish on a rattle trap late in the day, and 2 of them helped call me up to that 17-pound range that I weighed in on day 2. So going into day 3, when I knew I made the cut, I had a plan that I was going to start on that same school first thing in the morning, try to catch a limit. Hopefully they'd be big like they were on day 2, another 16-pound bag, and we'd have got to fish day 4. Actually, I needed 8 ounces to fish day 4. But basically run down there, first cast, caught a fish pretty quick, and then the bite just kind of died. That school, I think they had seen that jig and Carolina rig and big worm and crankbait and everything that I had been throwing in there. They had just seen it enough, and they decided they were not going to bite anymore. So I decided to make a move while the sun was still out that morning. Decided to go start with a rattle trap a little earlier, because that was the plan anyways, was to throw at the school, catch what I could, and then go throw a rattle trap all day and try to cull up with some big ones in the evening. I went to the bank, Started going down some rows of bushes. About the third third pointed bush comes up by. I caught one probably 2.5, 2 3/4. Came to the mouth of a little pocket. There was some bushes on the mouth, right on the corners of where those fish would stage up there before they went to the back of the pockets. But I don't think they were staging there as much as they were just coming up to get sunshine, trying to warm up. But I caught a 5 pounder that third day. That really helped me out, got me up there, in that 14 pound range 13, 14 pound range. I caught another fish a few minutes later that didn't help me. And basically the clouds rolled in, it got cloudy, temperature started kind of cooling off again, and it just kind of shut those fish down. The shallow fish just disappeared. I ran back to that initial starting school a couple of times. I checked it 2 or 3 different times throughout the day. Never seemed to get any more bites out of it. I think it was just, I had used it up over 3 days. But I think basically the way I manage those fish, if I had left them, if I had caught any more on days 1 or 2, I wouldn't have had that for day 3. And so I think that the managing the fish as far as saving them, you'll hear a lot, never leave biting fish to go find fish. But when you get to this level of fishing, you have to a degree, sometimes you have to save fish, and I believe that the way I managed my fish this week at Rayburn is the reason I finished as well as I did in this tournament. Guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you found some of this information helpful. Looking forward to going down to Florida for the next event. It's going to be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fish caught, a lot of big fish caught. Should be able to do a lot of different techniques, just about any way you want to catch the fish. There will be fish in all stages of the spawn. Really excited to get down there and basically try to carry this momentum from Rayburn on down to Florida and have another good event down there. If you found any of this information helpful, like, subscribe, share the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks.